Ratings for Game 1 have got to be disappointing for Kat Englebert and the WNBA front office. There were regular season games this season where Caitlin Clark drew more than 1.8 million viewers. However, I hope Kat Englebert is ready for disappointment because there's a hell of a lot more of it on the way. There were 3 other games in the WNBA on Sunday.
The WNBA is undergoing a major revitalization thanks in large part to Caitlin Clark.
Clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
But as with anything this transformative, things are starting to get complicated. This leads us direct lighto, a critical question. As the saying goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And yet, the WNBA has had to learn this lesson the hard way after Clark was eliminated from the playoffs.
Merchandising sales to new sponsorships to television ratings absolutely going through the roof to attendance to sellouts at basketball games to all-star games with record attendance both in person and on television. It is safe to say, North America, that the Caitlin Clark effect has taken over the WNBA at this point.
Now that the league is facing the harsh reality of the situation, the big question on everyone's mind is whether the V squandered their golden opportunity. And make no mistake, losing a star player like Clark is not the only issue at hand. The financial implications are massive, as we've seen viewership numbers plummet from a high of 8 million down to a staggering 161,000.
Ratings are embarrassing without Caitlin Clark. 0 games have sold out in the playoffs. Outside of Caitlin Clark, there was not a single game that eclipsed 500,000 viewers. Hell, they weren't even close to doing that. Once she is eliminated.
Now, the WNBA is grappling with the very real possibility that without its newest star, it may be at risk of losing everything. But what exactly does this mean for the league, for women's basketball as a whole, and for the fans who have been swept up in the excitement Clark has generated? This
woman is box office, plus she can play, and the combination of the two would...
Let's take a moment to talk about Caitlin Clark. She didn't just show up. She altered the entire landscape of the league. Before Clark, the WNBA would have struggled to fill stadiums or maintain consistent TV viewership. But with Clark's arrival, everything changed. She transformed the Indiana Fever from an underperforming team into serious postseason contenders almost overnight. Can you imagine that kind of transformation from obscurity to relevance in a single season? It's almost unheard of.
The operative word that comes to my mind is gratitude.
The WNBA has placed its bets on Clark to carry the league into the spotlight, but hats, where things start to get tricky. What happens if that basket breaks? What happens if the very player they've built so much around is no longer the league's main attraction? This is a real concern not just for the WNBA, but for the future of women's basketball as a whole.
I'm just looking at some of the numbers here. When we talk about league attendance, the Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17.
For the Indiana Fever, Clark's presence was a game share, but it's not just about one team. Clark has altered the entire dynamic of the league, shifting the WNBA's trajectory as a whole.
We see the capability on the basketball court. She can shoot, she can handle, she certainly can pass, okay? I look at it from that standpoint and I say mad respect. Are there other players in the WNBA?
When we discuss Clark's first season, we're talking about numbers and milestones that will be remembered by basketball historians for years to come. Not just extraordinary stats, but boundary-breaking achievements. She became the first rookie in WNBA history to score at least 25 points, grab 5 rebounds, and dish out 5 assists in her very first postseason appearance.
The day, with her WNBA rookie season complete, let's see it. Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA.
In addition to breaking records, she's establishing new standards of excellence that future players will strive to meet. This isn't just another strong debut. It's a moment that will live in WNBA lore.
10 or more assists in a game. How about that franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 three-pointers. She did it in 34 games. Most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game, for which she received the most fan votes ever. 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season, regardless of years in the league.
Clark didn't just impress on paper. She averaged 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block per game throughout her postseason series. These are numbers that no player in WNBA history has ever matched.
That she brought to a women's league and a women's side, if you will, of the sport is just, I think, hopefully going to have a residual effect for years to come.
Yeah, I think it can't be overstated enough, like what she did to bring eyes to that sport. Whether people want to admit it or not, it's just...
We're talking about a performance that puts her in the same conversation as some of the greatest players of all time, including Michael Jordan. But what does all of this mean for the league? I'll give you an example. Before Clark, you might have forgotten that the Indiana Fever were even part of the WNBA, but now they've become must-watch TV. The shift is profound.
Here. When we talk about league attendance, the Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,000.
However, it goes beyond.
Continuing, the WNBA's online merchandise store has already set a single-season sales record with more than 4 months left in the season, and sales are up 756%. Whether you like it or not, it's undeniable. Clark didn't just elevate the Fever, she made them contenders. But that's not the whole story. Her influence goes far beyond the court.
To the WNBA this season, as the league has seen unprecedented growth thanks to the emergence of a strong rookie class headlined by #1 overall pick Caitlin Clark. So WNBA released a report recently. Numbers are beyond impressive. Attendance is up 156% from last year, and more than half of all WNBA games this year have been sellouts. This year's televised games are averaging 1.32 million viewers, nearly triple last season's average of 462,000. Continuing, the WNBA's online merchandise store has already set a single-season sales record with more than 4 months left in the season, and sales are up 756%.
For the first time in years, WNBA games are drawing record crowds. And it's all because people are tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark. She's no longer just another player in the league. She's become the face of women's basketball.
The NBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth of the league.
It's hard to remember a time when a WNBA player generated this kind of enthusiasm and buzz. Fans who never thought about attending a women's basketball game, as well as longtime basketball enthusiasts, are now flocking to see her in action. The WNBA has unquestionably been revitalized by Clark's presence, but when things get complicated.
This chart for the 2024 season, the Indiana Fever are pretty much blowing out every other team. They are averaging almost 16,000 per 39 games. So this is taking into consideration not only the Indiana Fever home games, but also when they are on.
She's made such an impact so quickly that it feels like the entire league is now riding on her shoulders. This leads us to the crucial question. Will the WNBA benefit from this momentum in the long run? Sure, they've seen a spike in viewership and attention, but will this success be sustainable?
Clark, we all know that. They are now seeing that the Clark effect is living up to the hype. From a draft party.
Yeah, baby, number one!
Where nearly 6,000 people attended.
Look at the crowd here. You can see where she ranks on anticipation. This is amazing to have. I was here for the draft party 2 years ago, and it was nothing compared to what it is now. This is amazing.
To the team store, where gear is flying.
Now the league is forced to reckon with the possibility that they've wasted their golden ticket. And it's not just about the loss of one star player. Let's take a closer look at the numbers. It's not just that crowds are smaller at playoff games. It's that entire arenas that should be brimming with playoff energy now feel like ghost towns. The excitement that should be palpable in these crucial matchups just isn't there.
Get a rude awakening because 2 million, that click
2 million of their fans just turned the TV back to the NFL.
Picture walking into a stadium that's supposed to be alive with the intensity off a playoff game, only to find that half of the seats are empty. That's the reality the WNBA is now facing, and it's a troubling one. This isn't just a dip in attendance. It's a serious ongoing decline in interest and engagement.